So hello guys, and welcome back to another analysis in our channel. In today's analysis, we do a tactical preview of today's game, the clash between Chelsea and Manchester United. These are two huge clubs with great history together, but we need to look at the history of recent fixtures. So looking at the head-to-head clash between Manchester United and Chelsea, there have been a lot of draws since 2020, with Chelsea failing to beat Manchester United at Old Trafford since 2013. Chelsea will be travelling away at Manchester United. The last time they played there, they lost 4-1 under the manager Frank Lampard. Mauricio Pochettino will be facing Erik ten Hag in his third time as a manager. Erik ten Hag and Pochettino met last in the Champions League semi-finals when Pochettino was playing against him with Spurs. So Erik ten Hag is a manager who's under pressure with a lot of problems coming from within his club. So, listening at Mauricio Pochettino's press conference yesterday, he indicated how he was prepared and how he would not underestimate Manchester United in this game. And looking at this press conference, we'll look and analyze which key players are missing and how they will influence the outcome of the game. So, from these statistics here, you can see there are various key players missing for Chelsea, with Fofana, Chilwell, Kane, Chalobah, Nkunku, Lavia, and Gusto all missing through injuries, while Conor Gallagher misses due to suspension. On the other hand, Manchester United, you can just see key players such as Mount, Martinez, Casemiro, Varane all missing, and Sancho missing through suspension. But before we begin our analysis today, I want to kindly remind you to subscribe to our second channel. The link is in the description area below. I know we have fans from Manchester United, Arsenal, Manchester City who would really like to see if I analyze their teams. Therefore, I've opened this channel so that I can give a lot of time and effort on these other big clubs as well as other big clubs in Europe. So kindly subscribe to that channel. I'll be dropping videos on your teams over there. Before we start our analysis, do not forget to subscribe to this channel for more content in our channel, especially Chelsea content. Now, the first analysis that we're going to do is Manchester United, and we're going to look at how Manchester United likes to build up, how they press, and what we expect them to do when they come to face Chelsea. And since they will be at home, they will enjoy home advantage. So Erik ten Hag likes his team to build this way, with one fullback dropping deep and one centre-back dropping on either side of Andre Onana, with one centre-back pushing in midfield. So the main aim of Manchester United in these scenarios is to draw a lot of players high up the pitch so that they can create these 2v1s against opposition fullbacks, where Onana can use his excellent passing accuracy to either win the aerial duels or the second balls. This now will ensure that the Manchester United wingers are running directly at the opposition back four. This is something they did time and time again when they faced big teams. However, I will show you how they've been found out with this system. So, also another chance is the passing accuracy of Onana is quite great, and therefore he can pick Bruno Fernandes in between the lines. We know Bruno likes to drop and pick up pockets of space in between the lines where he can turn and play in his pacey forwards. The role of Garnacho and Rashford and Højlund in this team will be quite crucial, since their main aim will be making runs in behind, especially against teams that press them high up the pitch. So, in more settled possession, Manchester United take up a 2-3-5 system. This is created by the two centre-backs playing together, with a midfield three where the fullbacks stay wide and only one pivot, while the two midfielders push in the half spaces. So, Manchester United, when they are pressed in this way, they are not afraid to go back and play the ball back to Andre Onana. But if they are in the almost close to the opposition's half, what we see is that their centre-backs try to play these balls in the wide areas, especially for the runs of Garnacho or Marcus Rashford. However, this wide players' main aim in these wide channels is to dribble past their fullbacks and attempt long shots over the goal. So let's look at Manchester United out of possession. We're just doing a brief description of what they do. So Manchester United will mostly engage the teams out of possession in a 4-4-2 system, where they will use their two forwards to press the two centre backs and force the ball wide, where they can use their wingers, their forwards and their midfielders to employ a touchline press. So let's see what Pochettino can do, and let's look at the lineup. So in goal, Robert Sanchez is more likely to retain his position as the number one starter at Chelsea. At centre back, we expect Badiashile and Thiago Silva to start. These are two competent centre backs, especially on the ball, and they are currently the best centre backs in the club. I expect them to easily break through Manchester United's press. The fullback position, Reece James is going to come back, so automatically he starts, and I've picked Cucurella since I'm not comfortable with Colwill playing as left back. The second goal against Brighton explains he plays as a centre back while playing as a left back. The midfield double pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo will be quite crucial. We have seen the two pairing so well. The two are very comfortable in possession and can play penetrative passes to the forwards. The suspension of Conor Gallagher sees Cole Palmer back in the starting 11, playing as the attacking midfielder. His excellent vision, his footballing IQ will enable him to pick up spaces and play in the pacey wingers. Down the wide areas, I'm picking Mykhailo Mudryk to start on the left, with Raheem Sterling to start on the right. These two will ensure that Manchester United's fullbacks do not even attempt to move forward because of their pace and their lethal strength during counter-attacks. Leading the line will be Nicholas Jackson. His work rate will be quite impressive in stopping Manchester United from progressing with the ball. So, let's analyze how Chelsea can stop Manchester United from the build-up strategy. We know very well how Manchester United like to build up, having three players, with Onana acting as a third centre-back, using his excellent distribution and kicking. In this case, Chelsea should press Manchester United the way Manchester City did. This is by having their wingers to go onto the wide forwards, while Jackson can use his cover shadow to tie up one pivot, while Palmer can pick the other player in midfield. The role of Sterling will be crucial, for he will be pressing one fullback and one centre-back. This will enable now Enzo and Caicedo to sit in on the two players who Manchester United try to isolate in the wide areas. So one winger can be pressing from out to in to force Onana now to make the pass. And since Onana's limited options in midfield, he will decide to go long to try and play the balls to the wide areas. And here, Chelsea's centre-backs can use their excellent reading of the game to win this ball, as well as Chelsea's pacey fullbacks in Cucurella and Reece James. When Bruno will decide to drop deep to receive the ball, Caicedo can win the ball off him and immediately play the ball to Jackson, and Chelsea can actually attempt to score goals by winning the ball off Manchester United's midfield. We know United are not quite great in the midfield regions, and I'm going to explain why. Now, also, Chelsea should have a spare man patrolling ahead of the centre-backs, that is Moises Caicedo, so that they can stop Manchester United's build-up. Now, we know that Chelsea have a high PPDA, and in some instances, Manchester United will break free from Chelsea's press and will have settled possession. Now, this 2-3-5 system that Manchester United employs can be of great benefit to Chelsea. We know Chelsea like to sit in a narrow 4-2-3-1 block or a 4-4-2, with their wingers playing quite narrow. What this enables for Chelsea is that Jackson can be the one who momentarily presses both Maguire and Luke Shaw in possession. The main aim of Chelsea is to force Manchester United to play the balls down the wide areas. In midfield, Manchester United can be intercepted by having Palmer sitting on one of the pivots. Now, unlike Manchester City and Spurs, Manchester United does not invert their fullbacks, and this leaves them quite open and vulnerable in midfield. So if they attempt to play these wide passes to their fullbacks, Chelsea can engage in an aggressive touchline press, where if Manchester United's fullback get ambitious to pass the ball forward, Chelsea's fullback should be quite ready to intercept the passes or win 1v1 duels against Manchester United wingers and immediately engage in an aggressive counter-attack. Since the middle part of the pitch will be vacated, Chelsea should be quite able to play the counter-attack effectively and immediately close in on Manchester United and beat their slow defenders, especially targeting the slow pace of Harry Maguire. Now, also another key area that Chelsea should anticipate in beating Manchester United is setting these pressing traps in midfield. We saw against the game against Brighton, where Chelsea would allow the ball to be played in midfield and Caicedo would easily intercept the ball and immediately launch quick counter-attacks. But in this game, I am expecting Chelsea to have majority of possession over Manchester United, since Manchester United are not quite great on the ball and they don't have a midfielder who is able to retain possession for them. So Chelsea, this will only happen in the few instances where Chelsea will be without possession. So the next part we look at is when Chelsea are in possession, since majority of the time they will have the ball. Let's see what Chelsea can do while they have the ball. So Chelsea can build from the back by having their wingers start quite high and wide, and their pace will enable Manchester United's backline now to push back rather than trying to go to play with a high line. This will create a lot of spaces in the wide areas by having both Reece James and Cucurella hugging the touchline and spreading the centre backs so wide. This by having only Moises Caicedo as the single pivot. This will enable Enzo Fernandez to be picking the ball directly from the goalkeeper if he drops deep and acts as a double pivot next to Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez with the ball high up the pitch can link up with the likes of Palmer and the other forwards. Now, Manchester United might decide now to press in their narrow 4-1 system, and this is where Chelsea's ball playing centre backs come into play, because the centre backs can hold on to the ball, draw in a forward to press them, and immediately use Caicedo's and Enzo's excellent reading of the game to easily receive the ball directly from the centre backs and progress with the ball high up the pitch. The roles of Reece James will be quite crucial, since in some instances he can invert or overlap to give Chelsea numerical superiority. Against teams such as Brighton and Manchester City, we saw Chelsea build with a 4-3-3 system, and in this case what we would see is that Caicedo will be the only single pivot, where he will receive the ball and play flick-on passes to centre-backs who would be advancing, drawing in wingers and then playing the ball to the free fullbacks, giving Chelsea numerical advantages high up the pitch. The main aim is to maneuver Manchester United's press. Remember, Manchester United's press is only effective in the first 15 minutes. After that, majority of the time they are usually quite lethargic in their press, especially the flank where Rashford is playing. Rashford is not quite an aggressive presser off the ball, and I'm going to explain to you how using examples. Now, in possession, Chelsea will have majority of possession. So in this case, Chelsea can employ this tactic because Reece James likes to overlap. Sterling can come in and occupy the right half space, with Reece James pushing forward to occupy the flank. This we see Cole Palmer shift and start playing down the left half space, and this will ensure now Enzo Fernandez plays slightly deeper where he can orchestrate the play, and this will make Chelsea form that lethal front five. This can also be aided if Manchester United are pressing with two players, with Cucurella playing as a third centre-back. We know that he has played this position time and time again, and Chelsea can stagger their pivots. Alternatively, Enzo Fernandez can also shift to receive the ball on either side of the two centre-backs, and in this case he can create overloads on either side, with the fullback the midfielder and the winger, creating this overload, pulling Manchester United's team towards one side of the pitch and using his excellent passing accuracy to switch the play onto the other side of the pitch. And this side of the pitch is where most likely Reece James can use his excellent time and space on the ball to whip in quick, accurate crosses in the far post area or in the near post area, where Chelsea can attack the box with huge numbers and attempt to score the goal. Chelsea should be excellent with their counter press. Another key area is these 2v1s created against Manchester United's fullbacks. This is because Erik ten Hag does not require his wingers who do not track back to go back, but rather stay high up the pitch to anticipate those lethal. In this case, Reece James can be pulling out a fullback out of position and play Raheem Sterling, who will be occupying the space in the half space area. Sterling in this position can attempt cutbacks. We've seen that Manchester United's midfield is not quite quick in recovery and they suffer a lot from cutbacks, and Chelsea can score a lot of goals. So, another key thing that Chelsea should be very wary of is Manchester United's lethal counter-attacks. The Chelsea's fullbacks should be quite ready to deal with these counter-attacks, as well as the counter-press should be quite effective to stop players such as Bruno Fernandes to get any time and space on the ball. We know these are the things that Manchester United thrive on. I want to show you a clip here of how Manchester United's press is very lethargic. Here you can see Manchester United are pressing Newcastle. This is in their previous game. They are engaging in a high press, but once you're able to beat your marker, now you have time and space, and you can see now that Manchester United can easily be played through. Look at the position of Marcus Rashford. Manchester United are not quite great in winning the first nor the second balls. And if you are quick enough with your passing, you should be easily be able to play through them. You can see here how Newcastle are easily playing through Manchester United. Here again, Manchester United are tasked to engage in a high press, but you can see how Marcus Rashford is so lethargic in his press. He moves so slowly to go and press, and now you can see Newcastle can have spaces to play penetrative passes in between the lines. Here again, you can see Newcastle are baiting Manchester United into a press. Manchester United are engaging into a press, but you can see clearly that Newcastle can easily play through Manchester United. Manchester United is engaging in an aggressive high press, but if Newcastle can easily receive the ball in midfield areas, look at how a simple pass in midfield opens up Manchester United. So Chelsea Football Club should be favorites in this game. They should come in this game with a lot of seriousness and press effectively. The counter pressing, especially Chelsea in transition moments, should be quite ready to deal with Manchester United's counter attack. Manchester United thrives in countering against teams such as Chelsea. And before I also leave, I'd like you to not forget to subscribe to our new channel and drop your predictions for this game. Thanks for watching.